In the 1940s, German nurses worked in hospitals during the scary days of World War II. But some got caught in weird practices that sound totally unreal today. War made people act in crazy ways, and nurses, following strange orders, joined rituals about love and control. These weren't about fixing broken bones or giving medicine, they were secret traditions born in dark times. Picture nurses, who we think are kind and gentle, doing things that would shock you to your core. They mixed old stories with war's chaos, creating practices so wild, they were hidden for years. Want to know what happened? Buckle up for a spooky, thrilling tale. It's 1942, and Berlin's skies are loud with planes zooming and bombs crashing. In a huge, creaky hospital on the city's edge, nurses in crisp white uniforms hurry through shadowy halls lit by flickering bulbs. By day, they wrap bandages around soldiers' wounds and give shots to ease pain. But when night falls, the air changes. Whispers float like ghosts through the wards. Frau Helena, a tall nurse with eyes like knives and a voice that booms, gathers a small group in the hospital's damp basement. Tonight, she says, her voice low and serious, we honor the old ways. War steals everything, but we can steal back our strength. What were these old ways? They came from tales told by grandmothers, twisted by the war's madness. Long ago, people thought love and touch could heal not just bodies but hearts and souls. In the hospitals, though, it turned into something darker, something wild. Anna, a young nurse with golden hair and a smile that hides her sadness, joined because she felt empty. Her brother died fighting, and she wanted to feel alive again. Frau Helena taught them rituals that started simple, holding hands in a circle, singing soft songs about love and hope. But soon, those songs turned into something else entirely. In the chilly basement, where stone walls dripped with water, they lit candles that smelled like herbs from deep forests. The air felt thick, like a storm was coming. Frau Helena spoke of the binding touch, a secret practice where nurses paired with soldiers who were healing. It wasn't just talking or holding hands, it was more, way more. Anna was paired with Karl, a young soldier with a bandaged leg from a bullet. In the shadows, away from anyone watching, their fingers brushed skin, lips met softly, and hearts pounded like drums. It was thrilling, but it felt wrong, like sneaking candy you know you shouldn't eat. Why was this shocking? Because these moments weren't just about love. The nurses had to whisper promises of loyalty to Germany while their hands wandered. It mixed sweet feelings with cold duty, turning something beautiful into a tool for control. If a nurse said no, she could be sent to the front lines, where danger waited like a hungry wolf. Anna felt stuck, but the excitement pulled her in. Under thin blankets in the dark, hands explored, fingers tracing arms, lips brushing necks, bodies pressing close to chase away the fear of bombs outside. As the war got worse, the rituals grew stranger. Nurses started using oils made from rare plants, ones that made your skin tingle and your head feel light. They'd rub these on soldiers, starting at their feet and moving up, slow and teasing. The soldiers, weak from pain, would gasp and ask for more, their eyes wide with surprise. One night, a nurse named Greta told Anna about the circle of renewal. 3 nurses surrounded a high-ranking officer, each taking turns touching him in ways that made him forget his worries. Greta said it felt like they were goddesses, powerful and magical, but deep down, it scared her. What if someone found out? In those hospitals, nurses weren't just healers, they were part of a secret club. They wore tiny pendants under their uniforms, shaped like hearts or stars, symbols of old gods of love. At midnight meetings, they'd share stories of their sessions, laughing nervously but eyes shining with excitement. Anna saw one ritual where they blindfolded a patient and used feathers, soft, tickling things, to wake up his senses. It started gentle, but ended in soft moans that echoed in the quiet. The war made everything intense. Love wasn't soft, it was fierce, like a fire burning out of control. Some nurses found real connections. Anna and Karl shared whispers of dreams, a house far from war, a life together. Their touches turned from rituals to real feelings, but even that got twisted. Frau Helena wanted details, saying it made the group stronger. It felt like spying on your own heart. Rumors spread to other hospitals, Munich, Hamburg, even small towns. Nurses whispered about secret groups, like a hidden web across Germany. By 1943, the hospitals were packed with wounded soldiers, and the rituals got bolder. Picture 5 nurses in a locked room, lights dim, a radio playing soft tunes. They called it the dance of life. They'd sway together, clothes slipping off bit by bit, hands exploring, breaths mixing in the air. It was shocking, chasing life through forbidden pleasure when death was all around. Anna felt alive but guilty. Was this healing or just running from pain? The war hid these secrets well. Papers were burned, lips sealed. But old diaries hint at the truth. Nurses, seen as angels, dove into the unknown. It shocks us because it flips everything we think about them. Their hands saved lives and sparked wild flames. As we go deeper, the story gets crazier, more secrets, more thrills, and twists that'll make your jaw drop. By 1944, the war was a storm tearing Germany apart, and hospitals became secret hideouts for the bizarre. Nurses like Anna sank deeper into rituals that would make anyone's eyes pop. Frau Helena introduced the essence exchange, a wild idea that sounded fancy but was totally shocking. They believed sharing kisses, touches, or even more could pass strength from one person to another. After midnight rounds, when the hospital was quiet, nurses sneaked into patients' beds. Anna's hands trembled as she leaned over Karl, her lips locking with his in a deep, slow kiss. Their bodies pressed together under thin sheets, hearts beating like they were racing to escape the war. Why did they do it? War made everyone hungry for something real. Soldiers, far from home, craved touch like it was water in a desert. Nurses, worn out from endless shifts, found power in these moments. It was like a spark that lit up the dark. One night, in a ward full of sleeping men, nurses gathered around a young pilot with burns on his arms. They called it the healing circle. It started with gentle massages, fingers rubbing shoulders, soothing pain. But then it turned intimate, hands sliding over skin, teasing places that made the pilot moan softly. His pain melted into pleasure. Shocking, right? These women, trained to save lives, used their bodies like medicine. Greta, Anna's best friend, shared a story that gave chills. In another hospital, nurses brewed teas from special herbs that made your senses sharp, like seeing colors brighter or feeling every touch like electricity. After drinking, they'd pair with patients in hidden corners behind curtains. The rituals got wild, nurses pretending to be mythical sirens, whispering tempting words while their hands wandered freely. One used blindfolds and soft scarves to tie wrists, building trust. Then touches got bold, exploring every curve. Greta said it felt like flying, free and alive, but also dangerous. If anyone caught them, it could mean jail or worse. More nurses joined, even young trainees with wide, curious eyes. Frau Helena held ceremonies in the basement, where candles made star shapes on the floor. New nurses had to strip to their underclothes, showing they trusted the group. They'd practice on each other, soft caresses, giggles turning into gasps. Anna watched, her cheeks hot, feeling like she was part of something bigger, like a family fighting the war's sadness. But some rituals mixed pain with pleasure, which was shocking. Nurses used silk scarves to tie wrists or ankles, making every touch feel stronger. A light slap here, a nibble there, it thrilled everyone. A soldier named Fritz begged for more after his first time, saying it woke him up inside. One wild night, they tried the chain, where nurses and patients stood in a line, each touching the next person. Hands roamed, creating a wave of warmth and tingles. Picture the heat, the soft whispers, the thrill of doing something so secret in a place meant for healing. Nurses made rooms special with flowers stolen from gardens, setting a dreamy mood. Old gramophones played soft music to hide sounds. Anna and Karl's bond grew stronger. Their rituals weren't just rules anymore, they were love. Under moonlight sneaking through cracked windows, they'd explore each other slowly, fingers tracing scars, lips following paths only they knew. It was beautiful but bizarre, mixing the war's ugliness with human desire. Rumors reached officers, and some joined, turning rituals into power games. A colonel demanded special treatments. Nurses danced for him, bodies swaying like they were casting spells. They used feathers, oils, even bits of ice from the kitchen to tease his senses. It was shocking because it blurred lines, who was helping whom. Nurses felt used but also powerful, like they held secrets nobody else knew. Greta refused an order once and got extra shifts as punishment, but the group stood by her, like sisters. The rituals pulled from old stories, like fairy tales gone wild. Nurses chanted to spirits of love, holding each other in circles. The midnight merge had pairs coming together fully, bodies moving in rhythm like a dance. Anna felt like stars were bursting inside her. But guilt crept in. Was this right? War made it seem okay, patients got better faster, smiles returned. Doctors noticed but looked away, and some even joined in secret. As the Allies got closer, the rituals happened more, in supply closets or empty beds. Groups grew, 10 nurses one night, soldiers in big circles, hands everywhere, laughter mixing with moans. It was chaos, beautiful and scary. Anna wondered if it would stop when the war ended or live on in the shadows. These wards weren't just for healing, they were stages for forbidden worlds. But darker twists were coming, betrayals and dangers that would shake everything. In 1945, as Germany fell apart, the rituals burned brighter than ever. Nurses like Anna pushed boundaries, shocking even themselves. Frau Helena brought out the flame ritual, where candles weren't just for light. They'd drip warm wax on bare skin, mixing a tiny sting with soothing touches. In a dark room, Anna watched Greta lie down, wax trailing down her back as hands followed, turning pain into pleasure. Patients joined, their bodies like canvases for this strange art. It was wild, senses on fire, hearts racing like they could outrun the war. Everything felt desperate as defeat closed in. Nurses used these acts to escape the fear. One night, they tried the sensory storm. Everyone wore blindfolds, and the air smelled of lavender and musk. Touches came from all directions, fingers brushing arms, lips grazing necks, even warm breaths on skin. A soldier named Otto called it heaven in the middle of hell. Nurses moved between partners, exploring without seeing who was who. The anonymity was shocking, it made everyone bolder, hands delving deeper, bodies arching in surprise. Greta found a diary from an old nurse, linking the rituals to 19th century folklore. Back then, healers used touch to cure sickness, but war twisted it into something wilder. They started the echo game, where one person's moan would be copied by others, building into a loud, thrilling sound. In groups, it was like a song of bodies and voices. Anna joined, her voice blending with others, bodies tangling like vines in a jungle. It felt raw, like they were animals free from rules. But things got dark. Some soldiers demanded more, pushing past what felt okay. Frau Helena tried to keep rules, but cracks showed. A nurse named Lise said no to a harsh order and disappeared. Rumors said she was sent away. Fear mixed with the thrill, like walking a tightrope. Anna and Karl started planning to escape, their rituals turning into whispered dreams of freedom. When this ends, he'd say, his hands on her face, we'll run far away. The ritual spread to field hospitals near the front lines. Under tents shaking from bomb blasts, nurses created the tent tango. They'd dance with soldiers, leading to close embraces. Oils from captured supplies made skin slippery, hands gliding easily. Groups huddled for warmth, touches turning intimate. It was shocking, war's horror made these moments of connection feel like miracles, bodies coming together to fight death's shadow. Nurses kept their uniform caps on during rituals, mixing their nurse authority with something vulnerable. Officers loved it, feeling like they were being commanded in pleasure. One general joined, nurses circling him like guards. Their touches were like a battle plan, leading him to surrender with gasps. It was strange but powerful. As cities fell, the rituals hit a peak. In Berlin's broken streets, hospitals were overflowing. Nurses held final feasts, sharing bits of food, then bodies. They'd smear fruits like strawberries on skin, licking them off slowly. Anna remembered the taste on Karl's chest, her tongue tracing sweet paths. Laughter mixed with tears, like they were defying the end. But betrayal crept in. A nurse spied for the authorities, telling secrets. Punishments came fast, some nurses were locked away. But the groups adapted, moving to hidden basements painted with love symbols. They tried the shadow merge, done in total darkness, relying only on touch. Hands found their way, bodies connecting blindly. Every brush felt like lightning, shocking in its intensity. Greta led a small group, pulling ideas from Eastern stories learned from prisoners. They burned incense, chanted in strange languages, and moved their hands like a dance. One session lasted hours, bodies tired but buzzing with life. Anna started questioning it all. Was this power or just madness? But it kept them sane. Patients smiled more, fought harder to live. Doctors whispered approvals, some joining in secret. As Soviet tanks rolled closer, the nurses held one last big ritual, the eternal bond. Pairs vowed to stay connected forever, sealing it with their bodies uniting in the chaos. Anna and Karl held each other, their love stronger than war. These flames burned bright but couldn't last. When the war ended, secrets were buried. Nurses scattered, carrying memories like hidden treasures. It's shocking how ordinary women did such extraordinary things, turning hospitals into places of wild desire. The story isn't over, there's more to uncover about what happened next. When the war ended in 1945, the bizarre practices didn't just disappear. Nurses like Anna took their secrets home, where they echoed in quiet nights. In a rebuilding Germany, Frau Helena, who escaped war trials, gathered a few nurses in hidden meetings. The legacy lives, she'd say, her eyes sparkling like they held a secret fire. They changed the rituals for peacetime, calling them healing circles for soldiers coming home. In cozy houses, with candles glowing, touches were soft but reminded everyone of the old days. Anna and Karl got married, but their nights brought back the past. In their small bedroom, they'd recreate the binding touch, hands exploring like they did in the hospital. It kept their love strong, like a flame that never went out. What's shocking? They started sharing the ideas with close friends, spreading the practices quietly. Small groups popped up, with nurses teaching others in secret. One ritual, the peace weave, had people weaving scarves while slowly undressing, like making new bonds. Bodies came together gently, but it felt intense, like a spark in the dark. Greta moved to a village and started a wellness farm. Under bright stars, women gathered for the earth embrace. They'd roll in soft grass, touching each other naturally, like they were part of the earth. Oils made from flowers made skin smooth, and laughter filled the air. Veterans came, finding peace in these moments. It was shocking, war's dark secrets turned into something bright, helping people heal from pain. But not everything was easy. Some nurses faced questions from police or families when diaries were found. The stories shocked people, kind nurses doing wild things. Lise, the nurse who vanished, came back with tales of hiding in another city. She told a crazy twist. Some rituals used chants that made people feel dreamy, like they were under a spell. In war, it helped soldiers fight, in peace, it helped them forget nightmares. By the 1950s, secret groups formed, with nurses leading them. They called one ritual the night bloom, where they scattered flower petals on bare skin, hands following the patterns. The rituals changed with new music, like jazz records that used to be banned. The beats guided touches, hips moving like waves. In a hidden club, nurses did the siren call, singing softly while their hands wandered. It felt like they were taking back their power, owning their bodies after years of war's control. But trouble came. Anna's daughter found a heart-shaped pendant and asked hard questions. Secrets split families, making dinners tense. Yet, the practices lived on. In hospitals, there were hints, nurses holding hands a bit longer, sharing knowing smiles. It was like the past was still there, hiding in plain sight. By the 1960s, young people in Germany started talking about free love, and some old nurses joined in. Greta wrote secret books, not using her real name, telling bits of the story. Shocking connection, these rituals helped start modern ideas about touch as healing, like in therapy today. Anna, getting older, thought about how these moments gave her strength. They were shocking because they showed how people could find light in the darkest times, using love to fight fear. The echoes of those hospital nights didn't fade. They lived in stories, in quiet meetings, in the way people touched with care. It's a wild thought, nurses who bandaged wounds also sparked secret flames. The final part will show how these secrets still touch our world today, with surprises that'll make you gasp. Even now, in 2025, the bizarre practices of those German nurses are like legends that won't die. Historians dig up bits of the story, old letters, faded photos, diaries that make people gasp. Anna's granddaughter, now grown, found her diaries and couldn't believe her eyes. The essence exchange, where nurses shared deep touches to pass on strength, sounds like something from a movie, but the words feel so real. Shocking fact, online groups today talk about these stories, and some say they still do versions of the rituals in secret. In modern Germany, wellness centers keep hints of the old ways. Touch therapy, classes use oils and gentle circles, led by people who learned from nurses' descendants. It's healing, but some whisper about wilder nights behind closed doors. Greta's wellness farm turned into a fancy spa, where rituals are softer but still carry the old spark. Imagine a quiet room, candles glowing, hands moving slowly. It's like the 1940s, but calmer. Anna and Karl's love story inspires books and movies today. Writers tell of their secret touches, their escape from war's pain. But there's a shocking twist, those rituals helped shape modern psychology. Scientists now study how touch can heal stress, and it started with those nurses. But there's a dark side. Some stories talk about soldiers or nurses who felt pushed, leading to warnings about consent today. Secret groups still meet, lighting candles, chanting like back then. In Berlin, a retreat does the night bloom, scattering petals and touching gently, but with a bold edge. It's men and women now, all ages, seeking connection. Shocking how war's wild ideas live on, helping people feel close in a busy world. Anna's diaries, found in 2020, started big talks. Scholars say the rituals were how nurses fought war's pain, taking control with their bodies. But others call it risky, even wrong. Anna's granddaughter made a podcast, sharing the stories. Listeners are shocked, nurses as heroes and rebels at the same time. Online, people argue, was it empowerment or something darker? Hospitals today have echoes. Nurses' gentle touches, like holding a patient's hand, carry hints of the past. Training now includes therapeutic touch, with roots in those 1940s secrets. It's wild to think, history hides in everyday moments. Greta's secret books, found later, show the rituals spread far. In America, 1960s groups learned from nurses, mixing touch with new ideas about love. Shocking influence, modern wellness, like massage therapy, owes a debt to those women. But not everyone agrees. Some say the rituals hurt more than helped, using power in wrong ways. Others see them as brave, women finding light in war's shadow. Anna, in her final years, wrote that the rituals saved her heart. They were shocking because they mixed love, pain, and power, showing how humans survive. As we finish, think about this. War pushed these nurses to do the unthinkable, turning hospitals into places of wild secrets. Their story, bizarre, beautiful, and bold, lives in whispers, in wellness rooms, in the way we touch with care. It's a reminder of our messy, human hearts, chasing light no matter how dark it gets. These unforgotten secrets still spark wonder and shock, echoing forever.